In today's video, I am going to be breaking down Christian Koloko and why I personally think that he is really underrated and he is a lot better than what people are thinking. So let's get down and let's check out Christian Koloko, who is the Raptors' newest draft pick. So there's one thing that the Toronto Raptors do a lot, and that is the screen and roll. The screen and roll is one of the most widely used plays in the NBA, and we can really see that happening here. Now, just picture that screen and roll happening with Scottie Barnes and Koloko. This would be deadly. You're getting two huge, wide wingspan guys, one being 7 feet tall, who can sky up for these big dunks. Also, there's a lot of players who draw double teams on the Toronto Raptors. So, of course, here we see Delano Banton in the Summer League, but picture this being Scottie Barnes or Pascal Siakam or really anybody, Fred VanVleet, cutting towards the basket. And here we have Christian Koloko, who is on that weak side post, gets that pass, and because he's so fast and so long, he can get that ball up very quickly. He's also very good at blocking shots, and that is really not a surprise with somebody his size, but also something that we've seen at the college level as well. He also has some really good footwork here. He takes a quick jab dribble towards the baseline, which then moves that defender out towards the baseline. He then does a quick spin with his right foot being the pivot, that's his gather, and then he's able to go with that up and under to be able to go for that shot. This is a fantastic move. Just keep in mind that technically this is a travel because he hopped when he took that turn, and then before he dribbled, he picked up his pivot foot. Technically that's a travel, but it happens just so fast. In game, it's hard for referees to see, even though they're like literally 6 feet away. He's also a very good help side defender. He's able to time these shots extremely well. Now, if you find that you're going up against a very tall player on the weak side, you need to do different things. Now, of course, if you're in this player's shoes, don't take 2 steps for your layup. Here we see a dribble, 1, 2. Christian Koloko is timing that. You cannot allow him to time that. If you know he's timing that, you can go for an up and under onto the opposite side, maybe get an and one, but you need to go 1 step and up quick. Floater, something. Do not allow him to time that. By allowing him to time that with those 2 steps, you're going to get blocked every single time. He also has some pretty good footwork. Now here he takes a second dribble, third dribble. That's a little too much in my opinion. When it gets to the NBA level, this guy's going to be dropping down or something is going to happen. He's not going to be able to take 3 dribbles. I know that. I've made it to that level. And guess what? You cannot take 3 dribbles. I know that. So he's going to have to be able to do this on this first dribble. He cannot take a second dribble. But on that third dribble, I should say, he takes that quick hop. He did not move his shoulder far enough. He needs to start moving that shoulder a little bit farther. And then when he takes this hop, that's fine. Right, left, and then go back to the right, that's fine. That's going to be 2 steps. He's going up for a shot. But he needs to sell this more at the NBA level. He needs to move that shoulder back, dip it a little bit more, move it farther back, something like that. And, of course, turn, and when he takes that hook shot, he needs to use that off arm a lot more for that player's blocking arm, or else he's going to get blocked at the NBA level. So he needs to keep that in mind. Cutting back door, having point guards who can also see your cuts back door is very important, but when he cuts back door, there's something that he does that's very impressive, and that is he plants that outside foot first and then the inside foot, and he's moving in front of his defender. This is important. The reason being is because now you've essentially stuck that defender in jail behind you and he cannot go and block your shot. So if you're cutting back door, outside foot first so that you have the ability to take that hit into that defender if he does run into you, but also by getting in front of him, it's really cutting off his ability to do anything to block your shot. Now off of this screen and roll, he shows really good court vision. This is a really good pass by Delano Banton, but what's really more impressive is his ability to see that there's multiple defenders coming on him as soon as he turns his head. He has 3 defenders. He has the ability to kick out for a 3, but what's a better option? A wide open layup or a wide open 3? In my opinion, I'll take that layup any day because guess what? That's a for sure dunk. Especially at the high school potentially college for sure, NBA for sure, dunk 100% of the time. Now, he has the strength to battle it with really strong defenders. That's a second dribble, third dribble, and goes into a fourth, and then he takes his spin move. Now, when he takes the spin move, he could have maybe got a bit farther with his step, but on 4 dribbles at the NBA level, this guy would be dropping down 100%, especially when his back is turned. This man is going to be trying to snatch that ball as fast as possible. And by turning your back to a defender, multiple defenders, whatever it may be, he is in a massive disadvantage. Now, when he does this spin move, this guy would have been in prime position to be ripping that ball away. So with his post moves, he needs to be able to cut down his dribbles and do not ever, especially at the pro level, turn his back to the court. That is not going to be very good for him. Now, he does make this shot, but at the NBA level again, when he turns, he's going to have somebody dropping down trying to snatch that. This man's going to be moving over, and of course, this guy's going to be covering up and covering any skip passes out. So, because this guy would drop down, this guy would move over, and this guy would cover too, at that time, he needs to really watch what he's doing in the low post. I think this could be a weakness for him, at least in the near future, but later on down the road, he's going to figure this out. So, of course, at the youth level, you may not have that secondary defender wanting to come down, but if you are a dominant low post player at pretty much any level, and I think that he will be eventually as well, he's not going to be able to take more than a couple of dribbles in the low post, and as soon as he turns his back to the floor, there is going to be a secondary or even a third defender who's going to be collapsing on him, and he's going to be getting that ball stripped from him. He needs to cut down his low post moves to 1 or 2 dribbles, and that is what's going to really accelerate his ability in the NBA. If he can do that, which anybody can, it does not take that much effort to cut down your dribbles. At that point, he's going to be a very dominant player. I would expect him to get maybe, if he gets time, 8 points, maybe 8 rebounds a game if he becomes a starter in the NBA this rookie season. But later on down the road, 3-4 years down the road, I would not be surprised if he was not getting 12 to 14 points a game with 10 maybe rebounds a game with maybe 2-ish blocks per game. That would be something that would be a success for him. And if he does better, which I think that he probably could, he is going to be a very dominant player in the future. I hope that you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys again next time.